Keep them under tension. Yep. Road map. Come on, you ain't done yet. Good bump, good bump. Didn't take much to wake him up, huh?
It was them brownies.
It's those pre-workout brownies.
See, the young guys, they depend on the young guys. They depend on all this new age, modern technique and science and all that. Us old guys, it's old school. We didn't have all that when we were younger.
We're gonna start out our biceps with a mass building exercise. We're gonna go heavy, straight bar, which can be a little bit tough on the wrist. So if you generally experience pain or something, maybe wear a good wrist wrap or an easy curl bar like this guy. No, seriously, we're gonna keep the weight a little bit heavier here. Again, while we still are fresh and able to push the most amount of weights, I'm gonna target some of my weak points. So that being said, right now I want to build a little bit of mass on the inside, so I might take an outside grip here. If I want to work more on the peak and the thickness, then I might bring my hands a little bit closer together and so on. We know I have the weakest biceps in the game.
Come on. There you go. Keep going. You give him a couple force reps here. There you go. Get it through that breaking point. Now gonna hit those fibers even deeper. Come on now. Give me a couple more. 2 more. One more. For everything. There you go. Good. After you set, stretch.
Again, bringing all that blood into the muscles before a pump.
Bang.
All right. Cole, you wanted ivory, use a certain angle or so on?
I am a little bit older, but the barbell bicep curl, that was my bread and butter when I first started. That is the staple. That is and should be every beginner's choice for as far as bicep exercises. And as you get older, as you get a lot of the size, in my case, a lot of injuries, aches and pains here and there, I tend to go a little bit, not worry so much about the weight, more about contracting the muscle. So with that, you can contract the muscles, whether it's a pulley, cable, machine, dumbbell, barbell, iso tension. It really is, as you get older, it's about contracting the muscles. It also presents itself, it also shows on stage. That's what we do on stage, we pose, we flex. So make it natural. But me personally, I like the preacher bench bicep curl. Again, like Andre was saying, a little bit wider. Grip focuses more on the inner biceps. A little bit narrower, focus more on the peak and on the outer head.
There you go.
It's just squeezing.
Deep squeeze.
Squeezing and stretching at the bottom.
Right. See, you're getting a full stretch. He's filling that muscle belly up with blood at the top. He's not just throwing the rack towards the shoulders. He's getting a maximal squeeze at the top and then stretch, squeeze. Massive. The mountains. Good. Think mountains, right?
Peaks.
Peaks. The goal, the objective on any exercise is to keep the muscle under tension. On the bottom, here on the top. Constantly under tension. If you tend to do this and relax, you're losing it. You're losing your pump. You're losing the benefit of the exercise. Another one there, Phil? All right.
This time I'm going to shoot a wider grip. Last set I did a little bit narrow. So this time I'm going to go a little bit wider, hit more of the inner biceps, more of the fullness.
For guys that are very predominant with one hand or the other, we recommend switching to a dumbbell or a cable where you can isolate each arm independently and make, you concentrate all your energy into that particular muscle. But for the most part, you should focus on contracting them the same. Come on. There you go.
Drop it to 60.
Good to go?
All right, as Andre touched on, how if you have unequal development on both arms, on either arm, dumbbells are a good place to start. With that being said, focus on doing the weaker arm first. So if you're right-handed, you got stronger biceps on your right, and they're bigger, start with your left. Let your left dictate how many reps you're going to do. So if I do 15 reps here on my left, on my right arm, when I switch over, I won't do any more than 15. I want to give my left arm a chance to catch up and have even development.
All right, this is what we call reprioritizing your training, attacking your weak points first, where you can exert maximal effort.
Switching over to my strong.
This allows Cole to put and concentrate all of his energy into one arm at a time.
Notice how 15 on that arm was not nearly as hard as 15 on this arm, but this arm is the arm that needs to come up and catch up. So if I keep on pushing this arm, the weak arm will never catch up. So the game of bodybuilding is all about balance. Okay, not having the biggest this or that. It's a balanced physique, balance between a left and right, which is symmetry, balance between top and bottom. That's what makes you a great bodybuilder, balance.
In case you're wondering, that's my weak arm. I like that machine. Good stretch. Do another one.
You know?
these are best for a coach. Developing thickness, height, shape.
I think it's a combination of a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
It's strict, so it's definitely you got to concentrate more on it. So that definitely brings out the deeper fibers. You know, gets out more of the peak. Definitely can't throw it around the way you would do a dumbbell.
Right.
You know, so. And, you know, and that actually activates more fibers because really it's about form.
Yeah.
You know, it's not how much we're lifting, it's how many fibers we're contracting. It's how hard are we actually training.
Right.
You know, sometimes throwing up heavy weight, you're just throwing up what's doing the work.
Right.
Momentum, your front delts, your forearms. Like you said, in that exercise, if you're doing your forearms, you're not doing something right. You know, you're doing something wrong. So the mind-muscle connection going on there. You know, got to concentrate. Yep, the top part. On this move, it really contracts.
Yeah.
Really contracts. That's how you get deep into the fibers.
Go right into your next set when possible. It's all about intensity. If you leave the gym and you feel good, you didn't do something right. You're not done. I tell Cole to kill it and he laughs at me sometimes.
I gotta walk. I gotta get to my car.
One of some tries. Not a bad idea to choke up.
The guy that it was named after, he ain't around anymore.
He ain't around to explain that, so we had to go ahead and give him the inside scoop.
Now finish it off. There we go. Get all the blood in there. Big try. There we go. There we go. Good.
What we'll move on to next is a more isolated exercise. Again, we focus just now more on building mass, bringing the blood in. Now for men's physique and a lot of bodybuilding poses, when we hit a certain angle, we want to show great size. You don't always have to have great size. Coach talks a lot about having the smaller joints in the division and so on. This is a sport about illusions and perspectives. So, you know, if I'm sitting at an angle here versus here, you're going to see a different line, a different silhouette of the arm. So why don't we isolate and maybe hit the lateral heads. We'll hit the outside head of the triceps here. Yep. And yeah, we'll demonstrate some different techniques here.
All right. Again, going on the triceps here, we're going to do a single arm cable movement. Again, I have, and I'm sure a lot of guys do have, a stronger side. I'm right-handed, so I've always been stronger. My right side's always been stronger and a little bit slightly bigger than my left. So to work on balancing it out, I like doing a lot of single arm movements. So for my triceps, again, I'm gonna start, because I'm right-handed, I'm gonna start with my left arm, which is my weaker arm. Focus on that weak area, balance it out, even it out.
Squeeze, good.
Get my reps on that side, I come over squeezing this outer head, the tri, outer. Tri, you got 3 heads, outer, inner, long head.
That's what gives you.
Right now the focus is this horseshoe right here.
That's right.
The one that pops out.
You hear that term a lot in the bodybuilding world. That's what we're referring to. Just as Cole said earlier about reprioritizing our weak points. I too am predominantly right-handed, so I like to start out with my left. Sometimes I'll even come back to the left at the very end.
At the end, do a few more reps.
Exactly, if I don't feel like I've got quite enough work there. It's all about balance, proportion, symmetry. No matter what division you're in, guy or girl, these are all requirements in the bodybuilding world. And don't just stop when you get to a certain number. I mean, if you don't feel like you have a good pump, push yourself. It's the only way you keep growing is push past that or start to increase the weight over the weeks, progress. If you're not varying up your intensity, you're not growing. Intensity. Good. Burn. This is why the tricep's so important from any pose. Whether he's doing a bicep pose or anything, this is what gives the illusion of the mass, right? The thick arms. You see some guys.
You want to peak at the top, but you also want some type of peak at the bottom.
Yes, you need that sweep. You see some guys, actually one of my favorite boxers, he's obviously not a bodybuilder, but he's got some of the greatest biceps in boxing in the day. Roy Jones Jr. as a middleweight had literally apples in here. But he never worked triceps because, for a boxer, this would slow you down. So his arms always look tiny, but then you'd see him from the side and, his bicep is just popping. So to keep the balance, and you notice me and Cole just worked opposing muscle groups. So, from biceps to triceps and so on, there's a purpose behind that. I mean, the muscles pulling against each other separate, they show definition. It also helps, flood the muscle groups with blood. So there's purpose behind everything we do. And that's not to say that we wouldn't have just spend one full day on biceps, here and there. It's constantly switching up your routines. I think what we'll show next is maybe a shock loading method. Okay. So we can go maybe on the bar and do a drop set or something like this. On curls, you have different options too, from doing even cheater curls, drop sets again, high volume, little no rest. There's all sorts of different techniques that we can use to keep our muscles responding and growing and trick them. That light soreness is a good thing. If you're not sore at all, to me, you didn't go quite hard enough. You don't want to be so sore where you're not functional the next day.
I like drop sets for my final exercise. What I like doing is I like taking a basic exercise, kind of like the skull crusher, incorporating it almost like a hybrid with a pulley system. And what I'm going to do here is an overhead cable tricep extension. So I'm getting kind of the best of both worlds here. I'm getting the movement that we first did, which was skull crushers, which was a real nice stretch at the bottom. With a pulley, once you get to the top, sometimes with gravity, we kind of lose that tension. With a cable, we don't lose that, we keep that constant tension. So we're going to get constant tension, constant peak, constant stretch, and that's what really kind of fries your muscles at the end of the workout. So I like this movement, and like I said, it's a nice combination of what we first did your basic skull crusher, your basic lying barbell dumbbell extension. But by using the cables, using the ropes, again, to move our hand position. A lot of guys get I myself have bad elbows.
Yeah.
Sometimes if I'm restricted with a bar or a certain grip, that actually affects my elbow. With a rope, whatever hurts, I can just move my wrist, elbows slightly to left or right, pronate it, rotate it, and it kind of takes pressure off of any pain I might be feeling. So, if you don't mind, if I do after I do a set here, let's say I'm going to do
start here and we'll drop.
Do 100, drop to 80, drop to 60.
Absolutely,
So,
burn it out.
This is a little tricky to get into, but you'll see.
This is almost like a standing French press with a rope. If you notice the position of the elbows, they're pointed more forward. He's getting maximum extension, maximum stretch. So this is taking the long head of the tricep from here to here and filling it with blood. And immediately he's going to drop. We'll drop about 20 pounds here at a time. And right back into position. We want to keep this pump, this burn going. Myself, I try to match whatever I did on the previous set in terms of reps on each successive set. And it becomes very challenging regardless of the weight.
And one final drop.
Here comes the burnout. It's all about maximal muscle exhaustion on this set. The difference between bodybuilding and powerlifting. Go ahead and stretch that out. You gotta zoom in on this pump. This is ridiculous. Pumping Iron 2014, right?
No, a belly. It's a belly.
Yep.
Get those bellies.
When he gets done, this is where we would maybe myself, I would have like the first form ignition and a carb load, or I'd go have a meal with maybe some chicken and rice, something that's going to assimilate rather quickly to replenish the glycogen stores and the size and keep the muscles growing. You want to stay anabolic. I mean, we normally say 30 minutes to 60 minutes or so after your workout. You want to get those nutrients back into your body. Otherwise, you risk muscle catabolism, where you start to burn muscles as fuel rather than
What you don't
nutrients. Right. You don't want to
get
lose
them
muscle.
smaller.
You want to burn fat. That's about it.
Which is why you might see a lot of guys that you see working out 4 hours a day. You never see them grow.
Exactly.
Though they may be working hard, and they got to give them a lot of respect for them being in the gym for that long and working out. But you have to combine working hard with working smart. Stretch and squeeze. There you go. Stretch and squeeze. Go. And one more. Come on, Andre. Get it. Kill it. Kill it. Like the young guys say, kill it. What does it mean? What does it mean, kill it? What are we killing?
You want to stimulate, not annihilate, right?
That's the word. Stimulate.
All right.
That's all.
Good
That's
point
all.
there. Nice.
That's from one of the greatest bodybuilders of all time, Lee Haney. Stimulate, don't annihilate. And as a very large man, so
Yeah.
you get it's not really about how much you lift. It's how hard you train. It's how much you stimulate.
Ego in bodybuilding.
If you want to have an ego, have it for the stage.
Right.
But don't have it in the gym. You'll get hurt.
You get hurt. You won't grow like you should. I mean, you know, we live in the Midwest, so powerlifting is predominant here versus California and so on, where, you know, you go and most of the equipment is set up for more isolated exercises. I mean, if you go to any Gold's Gym out in California, it's a little different than most of our gyms here. You know, we have heavy weights for bench pressing, for deadlifting, for squatting, which is all good stuff. That's where I come from, the powerlifting world. But
we got beer. We got beer and cheese too.
we got beer and cheese and bratwurst.
So it's kind of hard, you know. Kind of hard to stay lean in the off season in the wintertime.
Yeah, and you know, surround yourself with like-minded people. I mean, it's easy for me and Cole to relate and jump in and out of different exercises we've never even done because we think logically the same, and we're both pushing ourselves. So you gotta work out with people that are on or near your level.
Well, you know, the thing with Andre and myself is, yeah, I am an IFBB pro bodybuilder. He's IFBB pro physique. But we share the same passion. We want to be better.
Right.
That's our passion. We want to improve our physiques and make it the best that we can. So surround yourself with that type of individual. Surround yourself with those type of people that want to be better, that are positive, that are supportive. You know, this is a gosh, I hate to say it, this is a cutthroat industry. A lot of people are out there. To them, it's every man for themselves. So they're gonna do whatever they need to do to get to the top. Even if it means befriending you and then
Stepping on your toes, yeah.
You know, but that's in any business, in any industry. But you know, you look around, you look hard enough, you'll find there's some good people in this sport, in this business, in this industry. Surround yourself with that, and you got no place to go except up. Rise above.
Rise above. Anyone in the Midwest that is looking to get into the sport, take their posing and their career to the next level. Me and Cole have been doing, top tier posing along with Sandy Wiedmeyer, who's a natural figure pro, competing in NPC now for bikini, and
soon to be IFBB pro.
Soon to be IFBB pro and join the club. So, as Cole said, there's plenty of good people out here. You just have to find them and make sure you're learning from knowledgeable, reputable people. I mean, take a look at their track record. Who have they coached? Who have they been around? How do they treat people? More importantly, I don't care what your credentials are. If you treat people like crap, I don't want anything to do with you. So that's something that we kind of live by out here.
If you're like a college professor, you might have all these awards and all these things that are credible to your name, but if you can't transfer the message to your students, if you can't connect with your students, honestly, what good are you? I mean, great, you've got those accomplishments, but if you can't transfer the information, help people understand it, it's not going to benefit anyone. So, make sure you understand, you and your coach, whoever you decide to work with, you have a good communication, good relationship.
So before we leave, we got to leave them with a huge shout out to NPC chair Doug Andrewski and Titan Productions. Hey, they have been an integral part of growing this industry out here in Wisconsin right now, and helping a lot of young aspiring athletes just get into the sport. Even free coaching and tips and things like that. We've gone on a limb for a lot of these people. So
puts on a great show every June. June 7th,
June 7th,
2015.
Yep, Titan Sports show. We have something special planned, so be sure not to miss that. We can't give away too many details, but you won't want to miss it. So it's www.titanopen.com.